Hi YouTube fam, welcome back to my channel. Oh, I'm giving you guys a big hug. Hope you're having a nice day or afternoon or evening, whatever time it is. But where I'm at, it's afternoon and Penelope's actually taking a nap. So if you hear a little crackling noise, it's her baby monitor. But I decided to come sit outside. I love filming okay, so today's video, it's kind of, I would consider it under the paranormal story time realm because it is kind of, I don't know, it's a more spiritual story. And I kind of just wanted to share it. It's a little weird sharing these intimate, private, that sounds weird, like it's like really like intimate, private, but these interactions or experiences, I guess, are, you know, special, and they're a little weird. If you don't believe in, you know, kind of unbelievable, unseeable things, these kind of stories might be a little like okay to you. But anyways, I wanted to come on here and share this for you, especially if you're somebody who has lost a loved one, if you are struggling, even if you didn't recently lose them, if you lost a loved one or relative or a friend like years ago and you're still hurt about it, this video is still for you. So if you did not catch my last paranormal story time, I filmed it in like August and I didn't get it up for you guys until like almost 2 months later, like a month and a half. Lately, life has been just requiring a lot of my time and energy and focus, if that makes any sense at all. So anyways, back to that video. I mentioned that my Tata was sick and not doing well, and he had dementia, and he did pass away towards the beginning of September. And it was a really, it honestly was the best way he could have gone. He went in his sleep, and so he had died, I believe, on a Tuesday morning, and I had gone to see him on Friday, the Friday before he died. And it was funny, so not that day, not that Friday, but the time I had gone to visit him before that, I had brought him beers, and which, like, that's just Budweiser. That was one of his favorite beers. His real favorite was Patron, but my Nana was like, oh, because he hadn't been eating or drinking anything, so she was like, maybe beer. So I had brought him over beers, and I didn't have a beer with him. I should have. I really wish I did. Like, I really do. But he enjoyed it. He was so happy. He jumped out of bed. He was like, like, I don't know. My Tata and I had a relationship where, like, and this is how he was with a lot of people. He, even if he wasn't sick or something wasn't going on, he would just always tell you how much he loved you. Like, oh my gosh, you're so beautiful. I'm so lucky. You're the best granddaughter. You know, like, that's just, he always made you feel special. So anyways, I'm like rambling on a little bit, but his dementia was pretty bad, to the point where he would ask where he is. He wouldn't know what was going on most of the time. So anyways, that last Friday I saw him. It was so sweet, and every time I saw him, he would remember me, like, there's my Julia, my baby, you know. And like, just that right there, I think, is remarkable, that like nearing the end of someone's life, his brain was literally just not working. It was deteriorating, but somehow he was able to remember me, and like, he remembered all of our family. And he even said to me on that Friday, he goes, last time you brought me beers, where are the beers? You know, which is like, for him to remember that, it's just, I don't know. And then like another, well, I kind of already said it, but a little sweet side story. So I hadn't seen him in a really long time due to COVID. And the first time I saw him, I was like, oh, he probably won't remember me, because, you know, months before that, he had already started not remembering me sometimes. And so yeah, I walked in and I said, Tata, it's your granddaughter Julia. He goes, I know my Julia, even with your mask on. So anyways, these are just funny little stories that I'm sure you could probably relate to if you've lost a grandparent, you know, just like special things. Or anyways, and also what I was trying to say too is that it was a very peaceful death, which I'm so thankful for. Not many people get the luxury to get to say goodbye to their loved ones and to get to just tell them how much you mean to them and everything. And so I will tell you like a weird experience I did have. So that day that he died, I had gone over, Jesse took off of work so he could watch Penelope, and I had gone over to their house to say goodbye to his body, and I was a hot mess, like I was, and everybody, we all just were sad, my family and stuff. And it was so weird when they were taking his body away, which what I believe is, it's hard. For the most part, I do believe that when we die, I don't believe our spirits die. I believe, again, if you don't believe this, that's okay, because I think I'm open to other possibilities. I'm not like, this is how it is. So if you believe something different, I'd probably listen and be like, oh, really? Like, seriously, like, I want to hear. So anyways, I'm like really chatty today. Can you guys tell? I felt like I hadn't filmed a video and I missed you guys. So anyways, and if you're watching this and are not subscribed, make sure you're subscribed so you can become a part of my YouTube family. Anyways, so when they took his body away, I got really physically ill. I was like standing with my Nana and we were just, saying bye. The hearse was taking him to the mortuary, and I'm not gonna lie, I was feeling pretty like overwhelmed with not only my emotions, but I am very empathetic. So being around a lot of sadness, I've always had a hard time being around a lot of sad people, not in a way that it's their fault or like you shouldn't be sad. Like, sad is a normal human feeling to feel, but for me, I really like feel other people's feelings a lot of times, and sadness is just a hard one for me. I'm really learning to process sadness better. But anyways, so I was standing there with my Nana, and all of a sudden I was like, oh my gosh. And I had to run to the bathroom and I threw up, and I could not stop throwing up. It was so weird. And luckily, my mom, so she's like one of I have a lot of little guardian angels on earth. That sounds silly, but my mom, she kind of pulled me aside. She's like, I think you need to, go home. I think you need to get out of here. And I was like, yeah, maybe. And she was like, and I realized she was right. I'm like, you know what? I can't stop throwing up. I feel really sick. So I left. And as soon as I left the house, I instantly felt better. So that was just a really weird experience. Which makes sense. I mean, like, the body, the human body, our physical bodies can only handle so much, and everyone's level of what they can handle is different and how they process it differently. So yeah, I just think that was my body telling me like, well, you are too open and there's too much sadness around, and it's just not good for you to be around. So anyways, another experience I forgot to tell you guys is the morning he died, I woke up and I kind of was like, ugh, I'm gonna have a text message, about Tata. And, I kind of just had that feeling like, ugh. And sure enough, like, I had a text message from my mom. So I called her and I came outside here, and I don't know, one thing again about me, like, let me know if any of you are this way too, but something about animals and nature, I feel like just human beings in general, like, this is a common natural thing that we all are attracted to, but it just is so comforting and calming to me. And just, there's something about animals, they are just so, like, I don't know, pure, and they do their thing. I don't know, I can't even describe it. It's one of those things that if you get really connected to animals, you understand. So anyways, I came out, and if you've seen any of my other paranormal videos, we have a lot of family members who visit, like Jesse's Tata, who passed away. He visits as a bee sometimes, and I believe that like, animals can channel. I believe humans can channel. Like, we're all made of energy, and like, energy can just channel other energy, so I don't know exactly how it works, but I do believe that animals can channel our past loved ones, and that, they can be used as tools for our loved ones to let us know that they're still here and they're still with us. Even though their body is not and we can't see them, their spirit is still very alive, which is kind of fascinating. I've heard recently that our sight is one of our weakest senses, because if you think about it, we can't see so many things that are real, you know, like heat is real, but we can't see the heat wavelengths. We have thermal cameras that can, but we cannot see heat waves, you know, or like sound is a real thing, but our human eyes cannot see them. So I do believe that, you know, especially the older I get, the more, you know, understanding I get. I don't know, that's just kind of like what I think, and I just wanted to share it. If you don't think the same, again, who knows? Like, I don't think there's any one person who knows all the secrets of the universe, you know? So anyways, I never talked with my Tata on what animal he was gonna come back as, or what was his special animal, you know? And I did talk to him a couple weeks before he died, and I did tell him, like, hey Tata, I want you to come visit me. I want you to be around. I promise I won't be scared, you know? And so anyways, when I got the call that he died, I was talking with my mom, and I walked outside and I saw a bunch of birds just flocking to my yard, watch, I'll show you guys. Sitting on those electrical wires right there. And I just instantly felt so comforted, like I was in a room with a bunch of my closest loved ones. Like I felt so connected, and just so like those birds were familiar again. Sounds kind of crazy, but that was my wind chime. It scared me a little bit. I was like, but so that was really cool. And I had a bunch of other little experiences leading me to the fact that I believe my Tata can come visit me as a bird, which again, I think is a very common spiritual animal. And lastly, kind of the big experience I wanted to tell you guys about is, so one night, at the time of filming this, I believe it's October 16th, 17th. So I'm not sure when you guys are seeing this. So I would say about a week ago, I was trying to fall asleep, and lately, I don't know if you guys who have anxiety or weird things, I have just been really inside my brain and really having to focus on like, okay, no, everything's okay. Keep the positive energy in our space, you know. Also, last side note is, if you guys have ever heard of Palo Santo, my best friend Kendra got me some, and I have been smudging my house with that anytime I just feel any vibes that I'm not particularly fond of, or anytime I just feel like my space needs to be cleansed. And actually, scientifically, it's a really clean burning smoke, so it does help get rid of some bacteria in the air as well. So I don't know, and I just like the smell of it too, and it's just a comforting, empowering ritual for me. Now, one thing I will tell you guys, I'll get into this in another video sometime, but I see you guys asking for the crystals video, and I went through a journey with crystals. Let me know if you guys want me to make a whole video on this. Basically, where I'm at right now is anything having to do with, you know, crystals or sage or like the Palo Santo. I particularly have to be very careful to view those items as tools and not necessarily give a lot of power to them, if that makes any sense. So the goal of those type of things is to, again, empower you and help you set up space and have little trinkets and rituals that make you feel like your space is a positive place. If those items become something that you are scared of, or, you know, anything other than that, then maybe hold off on that kind of stuff, you know. But now I'm at a good place where, like I said, with the Palo Santo, it's more just like I'm not like oh, this Palo Santo is going to do all the work and get rid of anything in my house. It doesn't work like that. It's more like you setting your intentions. Anyways, at least that's not what I think. So, but I use that a lot. And again, if you watch my previous paranormal update, that has really helped with like the weird activity. Like, we really haven't had that much weird activity, so that's been good. But anyways, one night, back to the story, if you're following me, if you have ADHD, you're probably like, of course I'm following you, girl. But if you're lost, I'm sorry. So anyways, one night I was just particularly really anxious, and it was just too much for me to handle, you know? So I did some breathing techniques. I did some just like exercises to try to calm my body and my nervous system. And it wasn't working. So I started almost getting panicky. Like, I just want to fall asleep. I want to stop thinking. I want to stop being anxious. And so I just closed my eyes, and first I prayed to God. I was like, God, please help me. Like, I don't know how to ask for what I need, but I just need help. And then my Tata popped into my mind, and I was like, Tata, please, can you help me quiet my mind, just bring peace to my body and to my mind, and so I can sleep tonight. And I kid you not, guys, instantly, as soon as I thought that in my head, I felt a calm just go over my entire body, like one just calming, soothing wave, like as if my Tata was just doing this, like sitting next to me and just stroking away all the worries. And I fell asleep, and I slept so good. It was, I felt his presence. It was just amazing. It was, again, some experiences in life are just so, I don't know, weird and unexplainable that words don't do justice explaining the experience, if that makes any sense. There was another experience where I believe Penelope saw him, which it was so funny. So that day, I don't remember if it was that day or the next day, Penelope happened to be bringing up my Tata a lot. Tata, she's 18 months old, by the way, for reference, if you're new. I do have a mommy channel that's linked down below if you're interested, as well as lots more paranormal story time, so that will be down below as well. But anyways, she had an experience where I believe she saw him. So I was putting Penelope to bed one night, and she was almost asleep, and then all of a sudden she stood up really fast and she pointed to the door, and first she said Dada. So one thing where she's at right now in her development is anytime she sees a male, anytime she sees a male, she'll say Dada at first, and anytime she sees a female, she'll say Mama. So it's almost kind of like she's now identifying genders. So first she said Dada, and I looked, because sometimes Jessie will come in to check if she's asleep. So I looked, and the door was still shut. So I thought, okay, that was kind of weird. And then she said Papa, and then she said Tata, and then kept saying Tata, Tata, and pointing to the corner and just looking in a specific spot. So at that point, I was like, oh my gosh. So at that point, I felt like a presence like in the room, and I was like, but it was weird. It's almost like, I don't think I was in a very connected state, because it was just really off for me. So she's saying Tata, Tata, and I'm like, what do I do? Do I say like, do you see Tata? Do I encourage her? Do I just... Whoa, that was weird. My phone just fell. Do I tell her, you know, oh, nothing's there, even though I do believe that maybe something was there? I didn't know what to do, and I was like, is that really him? I don't want to address it if it's not really my Tata. So she's standing still meanwhile while I'm thinking this in my head, and then all of a sudden she goes, Tata, and she lays back down. Which, if you knew my Tata, he would always make everybody laugh. He was a big clown, especially Penelope. He would always like just play with her, and him and her had a very, very, very special connection. I think I've talked about it in previous videos, but he's actually her godfather. So I 95% believe that she saw him and he came to visit her. So it was really, really cool. And again, this video is so long, it's rambly, but I just wanted to have kind of like a spooky spiritual chat with you guys about this kind of stuff. And what I want to leave you with is, if you are sad or if you find that you're missing somebody that you've lost, I feel you, because even though I believe in all this stuff, I still miss him. I still miss his hugs. I still miss seeing him. I still miss talking to him and him talking back, you know, but you can talk to them anytime. And I truly believe that our past loved ones come around when you need help or when you miss them, or they're there to help, they're there to comfort and just give you little boosts from that other side. I don't know, at least that's what I believe in, and it really helps me look at death not so negative, you know? So anyways, if you got to the end of this video, I am just giving you a big, tight, warm squeeze. I'm sending you so much love, so much peace, happiness, and light. And if you're not in a good place, just know that it's temporary and you will be okay. Mwah. Don't let the bad bugs bite.